Hi there. So today I received my Magnolia plants from Stock Brothers Nursery. I ordered these back in April. They were supposed to be in at the end of April, beginning of May. Got delayed a little bit. Wasn't thrilled about the delay in the delivery of it, but I finally got them. The poor FedEx guy probably hates me at this point because I've had a lot of trees delivered in the recent weeks. So yesterday I had my fruit trees delivered, and they're bare roots, and I'll show you later in the video what I bought and where I'm planting them and how I'm planting them. But I wanted to show you what got delivered today, and I got half of them unboxed, but I figured I'd show you the boxes and how they come, so that way if you ever go to order them, you know what it looks like. So as you can see, these are the plants, and they come, and these are not bare root, these are potted. And these are 2-gallon ones. So these trees are I think 2 to 3 years old. And you can see my wind's picking up and my boxes are gonna start blowing away. I'm actually gonna use these boxes to put out in my red field out there, to start letting them decompose, and use them as some nutrients for the put dirt on top of it and let them decompose and just let them organically go into the soil. But anyway, so these are magnolia trees, and these are evergreen magnolia trees. So it's a Blanchard Magnolia Supreme, 9 by 9 by 12. I'm going to be lining them along my road up there. And these are mostly evergreen. So in the winter, they'll stay green. And in the spring, they'll bloom a beautiful white flower and have a lovely lemony smell. So hopefully it'll look really nice. And tomorrow when I go to plant them, I'll show you how I'm planting them. I'm going to read up a little bit on if it needs any soil amendment, but from what I've read about these trees and the fruit trees is that you should leave the natural soil so it gets used to it. But I'm going to read up a little bit more on, make sure that I don't need any soil amendments, like any topsoil or anything on these. But I'm going to put the link to Stock Brothers below. I got I got them on sale. I had some good discount codes and free shipping because I bought an obnoxious amount of plants and spent a lot of money with them. But yeah, they came in, and these are beautiful, beautiful healthy trees, as you can see, and they come, all packaged up. So looks like they're very healthy. Anyways, more to come as I plant these out. Hey, so today's project, or this weekend's project, to say, or one of them, and I've talked about the trees I've ordered from Stock Brothers. I showed on a previous video the magnolia trees that I bought, and I'll be planting this weekend. And I'm also going to be planting a whole bunch of fruit trees from them. And as you'll see in a moment, I'm going to unbox them. And these are bare rooted trees versus the magnolias were potted plants. And the first thing I need to do, according to the instructions, is I need to rehydrate their roots. So I'm going to unbox these. I'm going to put them in a bucket of water and let them sit and soak for an hour or two. And then I'm going to dig my holes and plant them out. And one of the things I was reading about is that you're supposed to plant these in the natural soil with no amendments, so that they get used to the soil that they're being planted in. So I will not be putting any extra amendments in it, at least initially, at least at the bottom. We'll see how it goes. So keep watching. All right, get this all opened. Let's see what I get in my box. All right. right, these look pretty good. They were in the plastic. This is a bare root. New Century Asian Pear Semi-Dwarf Supreme. So I bought a whole bunch of different fruit trees. I bought some pear trees, apple trees, a couple cherry trees, and these are going to be planted opposite each other so that nitrogen and all of that doesn't suck up a lot of the same components. There's a balance here, and I'll explain the balance of planting these kind of odds and evens so that they help each other grow. So anyway, so this is a pear, but this one looks very nice. We're gonna go put these all in the water bucket in a minute. I just want to see what else we have in here. This is an American redbud. This will go in a different area. Oh, this is my Bing sweet cherry tree. I started growing the cherry trees when I was in Massachusetts. First year I actually started getting cherries on it because it takes a couple of years to produce. The squirrels ate all my cherries. So I'm gonna have to find a solution for that with some netting or whatever. I got a couple of cherries. I mean, they're self-pollinating, but they actually do better when you get multiples. Most of these are self-pollinating, but I did get multiples. One, so I get a bigger harvest, but two, so having them pollinate against each other is just better. This is a Graverstein apple, semi-dwarf. Good. This is another Bing, so looks like I got 3 Bing cherry trees. This is a red Fuji apple. I got different varieties of apples. They do cross-pollinate with each other. So when I was on the Stark Brothers site, I looked at their recommendations on trees that you can cross-pollinate with, so they'll produce. This is a Grand Gala apple. In my permaculture concept, these are zone 1 fruit trees. So these are the ones I'm gonna use for my personal use. And obviously keep in this immediate area of the house. But in the future, when I start my orchard, that will be further out in like zone 2 area, and obviously be a lot more of them. This is a Hosu Asian pear standard. This is another American redbud. I think I got a few of these. This should be another redbud as well. So I got 3 redbuds that I'll plant across the yard. And these will be absolutely beautiful in the spring. When we moved down here, when we were driving down here in April, these are all in bloom all along the highway as we were coming into West Virginia, and they're native to the area. They're just absolutely gorgeous, and they add a nice pop of color in the springtime. Wanted to get some of those for our yard here because they're just going to be absolutely beautiful, especially against like the white pear trees when they start budding and flowering in the spring. The whites, the pinks, the reds, and then I'm going to have the magnolias that will be the whites with the lemon flowers. Oh my goodness, it's going to smell so beautiful here in the spring. All right, I'm going to go put these in water. Nope, stay. One of the things I've done is I filled up this bucket of water about halfway here. Now I'm going to put these in the buckets. All right, so let's do these one at a time. It'd probably be a lot easier. There we go. At a time. It's probably the smarter path instead of just trying to stuff them all in there. These bigger roots first. These cherry trees got really big roots. All right. All right, fill this up some more. Some of this paper in there. Good for the mulch. Owen's got the tractor going. It's gonna keep, making a lot of noise. He's got the flail mower out to kind of start mowing down some of the tall grasses that are in the path and stuff. So hopefully he's gonna be okay. I gotta go get the walkie-talkie to make sure if he does something stupid, he can get in touch with me. Anyways, all right, so this is pretty good. Give those about an hour or 2 to hydrate before we start planting them. So as I mentioned earlier, in planting the fruit trees, I was a little concerned. I had mentioned Stark Brothers had said, plant it in the native soil. And I was a little concerned about that because I have like pure clay. I'm really not sure that that's the right solution. So I started doing, dug in a little bit, did some Googling, and in my research, it definitely suggests that I should amend it with some topsoil so it doesn't sit in water. They don't rot. I am going to amend the soil for these trees once I plant them. I'm going to the American redbuds. I think I'm going to do every couple plants, every couple fruit trees, I'm going to put an American redbud. I wasn't really sure I was going to put my redbuds in there. Most of them are dwarfs. So I'm going to plant them probably about 15, 20 feet apart from each other. I just wanted to amend what I was saying earlier. Also in the future, from a permaculture perspective, I'm going to, there's grass already growing back there. There's a clover mix of the ficus and clover, which is really good for the for nitrogen in the soil. I'm also probably going to plant some herbs, some strawberries, so stuff that will grow in the ground and will also be nitrogen fixers for these fruit trees. They'll pollinate across each other for produce a lot of fruit. Hopefully, all of the different plantings that we bring in will bring in really good beneficial insects and so on and so forth. And again, I'm gonna state for the record, I am not an expert in any of this stuff. I kind of wing it, based on my previous experience. When I had my house in Massachusetts, what works, what doesn't work. I also, one of the things I will mention, and I'll probably do this more so in the fall, is that we have the chickens, and they have hemp bedding, and when we swap that out, I actually use that as a mulch and as a top layer, and it's a really great fertilizer. So if you have chickens, don't throw away your bedding, whether it's pine shavings with their poop and all of that. Like, it's actually massively beneficial. I put it in as mulch to my to the barrels that I have for my berry bushes, my raspberries, my blueberries, my blackberries, and man, like it protects them in the winter, and also in the spring, massive amounts of nutrients, and I really don't have to fertilize them quite as much in the spring. So when they're growing, so that's just an FYI. Love my chicken manure. So if you have it, definitely don't throw it away, and use it for fertilizer. Anyways, I just wanted to update you on that. I'm gonna go start digging some holes. All right, one of the things I'm gonna do here is I'm at the back of the perimeter of our zone 1. We've put in this cattle fencing. Again, it's just kind of, it's here really to protect the dogs, the chickens, a little bit of extra predator proofing for the animals, and as we grow our flock and get some goats and all that, it's just a little bit more protection for them and kind of keep them in the property versus wandering off the property. We got plenty of gates though to get in and out, but along this back area, this is the furthest area away from the house. The house is way back there, but what I'm gonna do is, so from that back corner, probably about 50 feet up, all the way to about that second fence post there, I am going to be planting my trees here, my fruit trees, and then along that side fence along the road is where the magnolia trees are gonna go, but they're gonna go in front of the fence. So here's, I'm gonna dig my holes probably about, 10 feet away from the fence line, and then about 20 feet apart. I've got 10 trees here, so 20. That should give me about my 200 feet. So I'm gonna go mark it out now from that, probably the third fence post there. I'm gonna start at, and then mark my way down. So here we go. I've got this measuring wheel, which I'll tell you, should have gotten this thing a long time ago. It made stuff at the old house easier. Live and learn. Ryan's okay. He's still there with the tractor, and I don't see him. I don't hear him either, but he's pretty far back, so hopefully he'll SOS me on the walkie-talkie if he's okay. Like I said, I'm gonna go from about 10 feet. Okay, so 10 feet. So let's see, should I go 10? Oh, that looks about good. Good spot. And then I want to go about 20 feet from here, so I'm gonna clear that out. Hopefully I go in a straight line. Thereabouts. I don't know how to walk straight either, so. Like I said, I'm gonna do, for every couple, I'm gonna do the redbud tree. I don't know if it's a nitrogen fixing plant tree. I should probably look that up, but hopefully it is. If not, I'm still doing it. I'll just amend the soil other ways. You know, nothing's perfect. It's there about 20, about every 20. About 2 more. All right. We'll see. That'll be for any future trees that come. I get a lot of exercise when I work out in the yard. I'll test this out here. See if I'm like way off. Right there. Yep, I'm way off. All right. Okay, so I'm gonna have to do this with a few of them, I guess. Yeah, way off. It's Duke and Toby, my helpers. They came to help me. Try to dig this first hole, and then I won't bore you with the rest. Pull some of these weeds as I go here. Hey, Duke. You're a big good boy. What are you doing, huh? What are you doing? All right, start with hole number 1. Yeah. All right, I've never used post diggers before. See how this goes. How hard could it be? What I'm gonna do is, because there's this binding here, I'll try to cut out the binding and make it easier for myself in each one of these areas. Let's see if that works. If this thing doesn't work, I am gonna go get the auger. Toby, no, hey, get off of him. Toby has this obsession with jumping on Duke. That's a big root there. Awesome. And why was that such a problem? Boy, I hope I didn't hit the root right off the starting gate, which looks like I did. Shovel. It's probably up there. Is this one big root? Yep. Awesome. All right. I guess I'm gonna pivot left here a little bit, because this is one big giant root. I feel I'm gonna find a lot of these. I mean, this used to be fully forested, so it doesn't surprise me in the least. I feel I'm gonna find a lot of this along the way. Oh, if you're looking for an arm workout, this is pretty good. This is a hand top post hole digger. I liked this one because it's got inches all the way up to 3 feet here. So I've never used one of these before, so I'm sure there's a method to it. Probably should have YouTubed it. Figure it out. Keep hitting us with the stuff. If I can hit another root, potentially. Trees, and see if it's gonna work or not. Need to go deeper on this one.
Not one thing, it's another.
You okay?
Yeah, the clutch won't ring now. Figure that out.
So, I don't know if you all heard, but Elaine's having more tractor problems. If it's not one thing, it's another. All right, I'm gonna go get my shovel. I'll be back later. I'll show you what my progress is. So I wanted to give you a little bit more of a play-by-play here, and I don't have my microphone on, so if the audio's a little wonky, that's my fault because I let the microphone die, and Elaine's probably gonna be really mad at me because the audio is shoddy here. Anyways, I wanted to kind of give you some, I wanted to show you where I'm at so far. I've got five trees planted, an apple, a cherry, a rosebud, I did a pear, and then I've done another big cherry because I have 3 cherries and I think I have 2 of everything else. Cherry, and then I'm going to do an apple, and then I'm going to do a rosebud, and then I'm going to finish it off with the fruit trees. But I just wanted to show you a little bit more of like how things are going here. So my holes end up being like 1 to 2 feet, foot and a half wide to about, I don't know, 15, 16 inches deep, which is not too bad. It's enough to put the roots in, and then I'm using 2 big scoops of my topsoil and to amend the soil here because it's a lot of clay. I mean, the soil here is pretty rich. It looks pretty nice. I just wanted to give it a little bit more opportunity for drainage. And then also, one thing I learned as I was doing my research is because we're on a slope here, the water and the rainfall is going to come this way. So we want to be able to allow the plants, the best option to catch the water. So I've created a little bit of a berm on the backside of each plant, each tree, I should say, to give it a little bit of an opportunity to pool. And can't really tell here. Let's see if I can pull this back. It's not a big one, but it's just enough to give it a little bump, and then the water hopefully will be able to pool, and it'll feed the tree well. So just wanted to show you that. Now I want to give you a little bit of a play-by-play on the on digging one of the holes and like how deep and how wide I've gone. I think this is working out pretty well. We'll find out. Again, not an expert. Do my research and hopefully it works out. This is my play-by-play. And so I measure again, make sure it's 10 feet away from it's 10 feet away from the fence there. And because I've got this netting that was holding the straw down, which was holding the grass seed in place, because again, we're on a slope, and if we didn't do this, my landscaper didn't put down this bound straw, if the seed would have just all disappeared. And so would have half of the dirt here. So it worked out pretty well. Like some spots he didn't even put it. He just put some straw. So this spot right here doesn't have. Oh, there it is. There's the spot, but it's actually not in the spot where I'm going to be digging. So this is something I need to. It's really nice. The spike is coming in nicely. You can see the clover underneath it. It's really nice. This will be really good. So these trees, and then I'll plant some herbs around them afterwards. Let me start digging here. I know I'm not loud enough. You can probably hear the chickens in the background and lots of noise, so I apologize. Let's see if I can get you a little closer. Hopefully see my hole. It's not very big, but it'll do the trick. This is my apple tree. It's Fuji apple tree. This fits in here really nice. It's really deep in there. So I'll be able to, I'm just gonna, maybe I will put one more scoop in here. On top there. Anyway, you probably can't hear half the things I'm saying, but anyway, so now I'm gonna put the rest of this beautiful, look at that. It's really nice. It's moist because we had all this rain, so the tree's gonna like it. And it's got a lot of sticks and stuff in here. It'll create drainage as well. So let's get this in here because it gets pretty windy here. So we'll stake these down afterwards. I'm gonna create that berm again, just to help water kind of stay around it when it rains, especially in the summertime when it's not so nice. In the winter time, I'm gonna wrap these. I'm gonna wrap the bottoms of these. Else the animals, the wild animals, the squirrels, the whatever that do get in back here. Hi, Duke. Duke came to visit. Hi, Duke. Duke won't eat my trees, right? Oh. So we'll wrap them because in the wintertime, the animals will eat the bark, and then once they eat the bark at the bottom here, it will kill the tree. It's not really recoverable. 2 winters ago in Massachusetts, I had they were like 4-year-old apple trees, and we had a really, really bad winter, and I was laid up. I had knee surgery, and during that time, we had so much snow, and the animals in the area I didn't protect them. I was, I thought I had done a good job. I didn't, and they ate the bark off of one of the trees, and they did not survive, unfortunately. And I looked at all sorts of methods to maybe save them and all that, but most of the recommendations are they're goners. So I just bought new ones and I started over again. So this I've lived and learned, and that's part of gardening, in my opinion, is nobody. I don't think anyone's an expert, but you live and learn and just try. So that's pretty much my process here on planting these trees. So I've got 4 left, and here comes Mr. Tobaroni. Hi, Tobaroni. Toby, say hi. Say hi to the audience. Nope. Okay, well, he came out to, because he wanted to hang out with Duke. Right, Duke? You helping me? You gonna guard us? Yep. All right. Ciao. Okay, so I'm back, and we're going to talk a little bit about the magnolia trees that I'm going to plant. I talked a little bit about them earlier in the video, and now I'm about to plant them just a couple days later, by the way. And it's a beautiful overcast day, so a great day for planting. The ground is a little wet, so hopefully it's easy to dig up this clay. But I'm going to show you in a second where I'm going to plant my magnolia trees. As you can see, they came in really nice. Like I said, when I unboxed them the other day, they were really nice, and they've been sitting out here for a couple of days. I left them in the bag. So any rain or water, when I watered them, it would retain the water in there. And I'm going to be planting these all along the top of my road here, or the top of my property, which is really very sloped. Magnolia trees in general are shallow rooted, and they grow horizontally, not vertically. So it'll be nice. They shouldn't grow into the driveway here. They'll grow along the path. I'm also going to be planting some grasses, which I'll show you in a little bit. But this is pretty much what we're going to be doing today, and they're going to be beautiful when they're done. These trees can get pretty tall. It's going to take obviously a long time, and I'm pretty sure like 20-30 feet. They stay evergreen in the winter, and then they'll bloom the beautiful white flowers in the spring. with a really wonderful lemony smell. So complement that with some of the fruit trees I've planted and the rose bushes and everything else, and this yard in the spring will absolutely smell lovely. So stay tuned for more as I go and plant these. All right, so I've spent all morning planting 10 magnolia trees all down the road and up the road. What I did is, most of them I was able to dig out myself, but my strong muscular husband here had to help me with the auger at a few points because the clay was just a little too much. And in each hole, I amended it with some topsoil and some straw over it for some mulching. This is all done. We'll see if they take. It's supposed to rain for the next couple days, so I'm giving it a little bit of water now. You can see my fancy.
This is very much a Charlie Brown Magnolia.
That was the only one that came like that. I showed them that in the earlier post. I just said it was really weird that it came with no leaves, but it has one leaf. So yes, it's a Charlie Brown, for those of you who understand the reference. But yeah, all done. In the front there, I planted some more knockout roses. These are red. The ones I showed you the other day were the pink double knockout roses. These are red double knockout roses, and these are in front of the fence. And will be really pretty. So that's it. That was what I accomplished this weekend. Plus my fruit trees. So check out the segment on the fruit trees. And see you next time.